All right, well, we are live. So thank you all for joining us for another Friday Night Live with Jessica. And she has been for the last 9 weeks.
I lost count. I don't
Last like 2 to 3 months. She has been filling our heads with fitness business knowledge. She's interviewed some amazing people. She's given us some absolute gold about fitness business, whether you've done it for a long time, you're just starting out, maybe you're not even certified, but she's giving you a lot to think about and a lot to go on with growing your fitness business or accelerating it to the next level. And as I've mentioned before, I've worked with over a dozen different fitness coaches and different systems. I've spent probably easily $8,000, $10,000 of my own money buying systems to see how they work. She has the most comprehensive system from A to Z plus some. And she is one of those fitness coaches that isn't, here's my system, goodbye. She's the, here's my system, oh, I'm coming along with you. So she's there every step of the way, which is not very often you're going to have a fitness business coach who will go every step of the way and not just give you a system and say goodbye, good luck. So she's very passionate about what she does, but she has a special treat for us today. And she has a client of hers who has become a really good friend of hers now, Tobi. And so I'm going to step out. I'm going to let Jessica and Tobi tell you their story and go through the interview. And I will see you at the end. So Jessica, Tobi, take it away.
All right. Thank you, Mark. And as always, thank you for allowing me to share in your amazing group. You're the most qualified personal trainer I've ever met, right? Like he knows everything.
Oh my gosh, so much knowledge.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know how I passed without, I didn't know Mark 5 years ago. I wish I had his group because I don't know how I did it without him. So tonight, guys, what we're doing, and if you see this man walking in the back, his name is Kyle, and that's Tobi's boyfriend. So you want to give a wave? We're having a great time up here. We just hosted a healthy happy hour. I made mojitos and virgin mojitos. Tobi and I are not drinking. So, even though we look like we're drinking and we're acting like we're drinking, we're actually not, because this is actually fatigue from working hours on end. We probably put in 12 hours yesterday, 12 hours today, close to, 10 at least. We're at 10 hours right now.
Yeah.
With really no breaks. So this is what that is. This is the tired drunk. This isn't the alcohol drunk.
No.
Okay. So I want to introduce you guys to Tobi. Tobi's from Pennsylvania. She's got some certifications. She's going to share her story. But the reason I wanted to bring her on is because she's one of the few trainers out there that is actually treating her certifications as a business. So she didn't want to have to go out there and do a whole bunch of trial and error and spend a crap ton of money and years trying to figure out how to build a fitness business. We hooked up, we did a Zoom, she asked me about my program, and she took the leap. She actually came down for my 3-day immersion retreat where we are going to set up together her entire business in 3 days, and she's gonna go home on Sunday with her everything done, her website, her systems, her programs, her branding, her social media, everything done. And not only that, she's able to host events with me so she can see exactly how I've been able to build my business, which is so, like I said to you when you first got here, yeah, you're going to learn a lot of stuff, but the biggest thing is belief. You're going to leave with belief, because you're going to see it and you're going to know that this is going to work, and you can see hands-on how this works instead of me just saying, here's the online curriculum, go do it, right?
Right.
So what I'd like to do, we have until 8:30. First, and if you guys see me looking at my phone, that's because I have my questions here. I'd like first, Tobi, if you could share your story on your weight loss journey and why you decided to become a personal trainer and your other certifications, and you can talk to them.
Okay. So about 4 years ago, I was 80 pounds heavier and unhappy with myself, unhappy with my relationships with my family, the boyfriend at the time that I had, he was very abusive and controlling. And I went through a really dark time in my life, and I ate anything and everything all the time, whenever. I just didn't recognize who I was anymore. It was hard. I didn't like to look at myself in the mirror. I was a cosmetologist at the time, and I was making other people feel beautiful, but I didn't feel beautiful. And I tried everything. Like, I tried Weight Watchers, I tried like the keto. There was nothing that I didn't try that I was like, oh, this is working for other people, it may work for me, and it didn't. And I was following the steps. I was doing what they told me I needed to do, and I still was looking and feeling like crap. And I kind of dove a little deeper and did a little bit more research, and I started just to implement like tiny things. I started drinking a ton of water. That helped instantly. Once I got all I drank was water down, I started eating more fruits, and I love fruits, and I was eating them breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I started eating more vegetables, and the weight was just falling off, and that was amazing. Like, my clothes started not fitting. The number on the scale was going down. I was happy, and I was doing things that made me feel good, and I loved that. And within 7 months, I had lost that 80 pounds, and people were like, what are you doing? And how are you doing it so fast? And I didn't know the answer. Just everything that I was doing was working for me. And I was like, you try it. And it started working for other people. And I'm like, well, I don't even really know what I'm doing. This is just what worked for me. And it started working for other people. And I'm like, I want to do this full time. I want to help people, because maybe there are people that are like me in the past and they didn't know what to do or where to start. And I don't want anybody to feel the way that I used to feel like 4 years ago. So during COVID, it was the perfect time. And I took my CPT through NASM, and I passed, and we're here. And it's been amazing so far. Like, I eat, sleep, and breathe fitness. I love it.
And you're not only CPT, you have 2 other certifications.
Yes, I got the NASM nutrition coach cert, and I got the weight loss specialist.
And you did all that last year during COVID?
Yes.
Yeah. Very, very impressive. So you get your certifications, right? And it's isn't it so exciting? It's like a high when you pass. Like,
it's like unbelievable.
Yeah, you're like, oh my gosh, this is like stuff that doctors have to learn, right? It's that difficult. And you pass, and you were super excited day one, right? Right when you passed?
Yeah, well, I actually failed the first time, and it was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Because I studied nonstop. I was taking all the practice quizzes. I bought the Edge app, I think it is, that NASM offers, and they have they're supposed to mimic the test on there. And I was passing all of those tests. I was like, I'm ready. I scheduled it because I knew if I didn't schedule it, I wasn't going to take that leap and take the test.
Right.
And I scheduled it. I'm like, I gotta do it. I failed by 1 point.
What?
So I held my breath because I was uncertain, but I'm like, no, I knew everything. And I clicked it, and it failed, and it was by 1 point. And immediate tears. And I was like, what do I do? This is what I want. I don't know what to do. And it actually, it took me 3 months to schedule my next test, because if I failed again, I didn't know what I was going to do. And I didn't study for those 3 months.
What?
I didn't, right? And my test date was about to expire. I scheduled it, and I was like, well, we're in, right? And the test was super easy the second time.
Yeah.
I felt like I just overworked myself the first time, and I took the test. I took it in 23 minutes, right? And they give you an hour and 20 minutes. We took it in 23 minutes, and I passed. It took my breath away. I saw the pass. I immediately took a picture of it. Kyle wasn't home. I sent it to him. I'm like, you need to get home. You just need to get home. And I didn't have a printer at the time, but I just really wanted to print that piece of paper that was like, you passed.
Yes.
And I was like a little kid on Christmas. You know what I mean? You get your favorite gift, and it was all you've been waiting for.
Oh my gosh.
It was awesome. But then I passed, and we celebrated, and Kyle was like, that night, he was like, I'm so proud of you. What are you going to do? And at that point, I was so high on the happiness that I wasn't even thinking about that.
Right.
But I woke up the next morning, and I was like, that happiness had like faded because I was like, I have the cert. What do I do now?
Yeah.
Like, how do I go forward?
Yeah, the happiness, it's like,
It's like a cloud,
yeah,
you know?
you're right. Like, it's like you're way up here, and then the next day, you're like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
So what did you do? What did you do?
Oh my gosh. Well, I tried. I knew that I had time to still do the nutrition cert and the weight loss. So at first, I just tried to focus on finding a personal trainer job with my personal training cert.
Okay.
And I figured if I could stick a job, then I could get those other certs and put them underneath of me, and then I could do more at that job.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard with COVID. No gyms seemed to be hiring at the time. I know the Planet Fitness, which was right by my house, they let the personal trainer go. Like they weren't offering that anymore at the time. And I was figuring that was because of COVID. So I started looking online, and I would get on Indeed throughout the day, like 3 or 4 times during my job. And I would just constantly be refreshing and looking. And every once in a while there would be something new, and I would apply, and they'd say, thank you for applying. And then I would never hear anything.
Oh my gosh.
And I didn't know what to do. And I actually reached out to NASA because they have I think it's 180 days something. I might be completely wrong, where if you don't pass, or if you don't find a job, you can get some money back. I reached out to them. Yeah. And I reached out to them, and I was like, listen, I'm applying daily.
Yeah.
Like, I can show you. I'm not hearing anything back because nobody's hiring. And they're like, we'll extend it another 180 days for you to find a job. I'm like, it's not about the time frame. It's like, I'm not finding anything. And I didn't know what else to do. And I remembered I was part of Mark's study groups.
Okay.
So I posted in there, and I was like asking for advice on online training.
Okay.
And I got a couple people personally messaged me or commented under the post, and Mark commented under the post, but I had some people that were like, I do that. I can teach you how to do that.
So like business coaches.
Yes.
Other business coaches.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And I was like, okay. Like at first I wanted to train online, but I wanted to train online just in general. Like I never pictured myself owning my own business. So I was applying for other people, basically.
I get it. Okay.
And when a couple people reached out to me, and there was one in particular, she was like, I'll sign you on as one of my trainers under my name, but you run the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's great, but I don't know what show I'm running. I don't know what to do as if you were going to take me on. Like she would be hiring me to work for her brand, but what do I do if I were hired?
Right.
And she was very nice and everything. And I was thrilled by the opportunity because my mind started like opening up to all these questions. But the more I thought about it, I'm like, I don't know what to do. Because she was like, you have to bring your own clients. And I'm like, how do I do that?
Yeah, and I don't have any clients.
How do I do that?
Like that's one of the reasons you want to go to work for somebody else so that they give you clients.
Yes.
Right?
And I had another woman reach out to me, and she was like, you have to invest in yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you either have to have the money to give to her, or you can finance. And she was like, are you willing to do that? And I'm like,
that's how she said it. Excuse me, I need a drink.
Oh, you're fine. Yeah, like those were my options. And as soon as that came up, it was like a red flag. I was like, no, I know the saying, you have to spend money to make money.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, what does that give me?
Right.
And she was like, you pay for this and I teach you how to open your own business, but it's basically up to you to use the tools I give you. That was a little weary for me because that was a lot of money that I would just be giving to somebody for them to be like, just like Mark said, here it is, do it.
Do it. Yeah, you're on your own.
And
invest and you're on your own.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was scary. And then kind of within the same day, Mark was like, I know Cheska, can she message you? And I was like, sure. But in the back of my mind, I was like, it's going to be exactly like these other people that are messaging me. Like, I'm getting nowhere. I appreciate the help. And like, I'm having these small conversations, but they're not taking me anywhere. And it was like, a completely different avenue. Like, I didn't think we were going to go down the road that we went down. I thought it was going to be like, you give me your money, here are the tools.
Yeah.
You take it, you use it, do with it what you want.
Right. And I apologize. I am losing my voice, like, big time. So I'm sorry, you guys. But keep going, because I love this story. It's awesome.
I mean, I think we
actually,
chatted for like not even a couple minutes, and I'm like, I think you gave me an option, and you're like, this is what it is, and I'm like, let's do it.
Yeah, you were like all in, and it's so funny because when I first met you on Zoom, I kind of got the feeling that you were a little skeptical at first.
I was reserved.
I had no idea that you had already been talking to other coaches. So
Yeah.
it's great. I mean, you went all in. You're like, I want your top tier. I want your immersion
I think it was
retreat.
different because you explained it, and you did tell me, you know, it is an investment, and I'm like, okay, I do understand that. I got to watch your free video, so I understood that I would be putting in some money into my own business. I understand that. But you were very much like, this is step one. This is step two. And then you're like, you have everything, but I'm here to hold your hand if you need it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I didn't feel that sense of security with anybody else. I felt it was impersonal, and I will give you the tools, but you need to be able to take them and use them and create your own thing. And I was like, I can't do that. Like, I want my own business now that I know that that's a possibility.
Right.
Like, I want it,
Right.
but I need to go about it the right way. Because I don't want to be like $20, $30, $40, $50,000 worth in debt for a business that's just sitting somewhere. It didn't go anywhere.
Exactly. I am so impressed that you actually took the leap. And can I share that this is like your first?
Oh yeah.
So we actually have a lot in common in that we both have some form of anxiety, right? I think it goes along with type A personalities.
I think we think too much in our heads.
Yeah. That's it. So Toby had never flown anywhere before, and for what she did, she actually got on an airplane and came to Florida, like totally got out of your comfort zone. I mean, that is so huge.
That was, I wanted to do it because you gave me the option, and you were like, 3 days, done deal, let's go. I was like, love it, instant gratification. You were like, you gotta buy a plane ticket and fly down here. And I was like, okay, so I still want to come. How do I get there, right?
Yeah.
And I felt like maybe nobody else would be like, bring your significant other. Like, I didn't think Kyle would be able to come because this is about me and everything. And you were like, bring him along. Yeah. And honestly, he's probably the only reason I was able to safely get on the plane and get here.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I've never been to an airport before. When I showed up, I'm like, I don't know where to go.
Yeah.
I don't. You just hold my hand and take me to where I gotta go.
And then, okay, so I picked you up in the Jeep on Wednesday, got you to your adorable bed and breakfast in Dunedin. It's absolutely gorgeous. How has your experience been so far? We've been at this 2 days now.
Oh, it's been wonderful. I knew coming down here it wasn't going to be like a vacation, but it's relaxing because I'm doing this for me. I'm putting all this work in for myself and my future and, you know, my kids' futures. And it's really nice to work really hard on something that means a lot to yourself.
Yeah. It's like a peace of mind.
Yeah.
So she's got a fantastic pool and hot tub at her bed and breakfast that she's barely been in, but that's okay. We are doing so much.
I put my feet in the hot tub.
Okay.
And I've sat on the steps of the pool. And I mean, it is beautiful, but like, I understand.
Maybe tomorrow you'll have a little time. It depends how much we can get done. So fingers crossed. So just in a nutshell, what she's accomplished so far. We started with a photo shoot. That was fun. We needed to get some really good professional pictures for all your branding and your website. And she got to see the beautiful Honeymoon Island State Park. So you got to see a lot. Then we worked on some of your social media. You had an interview. You got to meet Dr. Katie, nutritionist to the stars. in person, just you and her and I on Zoom yesterday. Then we set up your YouTube channel. We got your all your Facebook stuff done. What else did we do yesterday? We did something after Dr. Katie. We did more. We did
the Facebook group and page.
Maybe it was the YouTube channel.
Yes.
And then we got ready to. Oh, then I brought you back. And then you came, I picked you up for the beach workout.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was very important that Toby got to see exactly how I set up my events, because they run very smoothly, and you got to meet the tribe, so more belief and absolutely gorgeous weather. And then you do get to go out at night with Kyle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then today, oh my gosh, we have just been nonstop. Like we learned everything you're ever going to need to know for your virtual training business today.
Yes.
We learned everything about setting
a
up
program that literally does everything
for you and how to do it. So that's huge. And your website is almost 100% done at this point, right?
Yes.
Website's almost done. And we tested it, so it's fully functional. You can actually start taking payments today, because I just bought a product. So that works. Tonight, we did a little healthy happy hour up in the studio. You got to meet more of the tribe. Now we're on live with Mark, and then we're gonna go home. I'm gonna bring you back tonight, because you get to go home tonight. But I'm gonna pick you up very early, 8 a.m., and then we're gonna go do another beach workout tomorrow and finish everything else. Tomorrow we're gonna do we're gonna goal set for your entire year, get your entire year planned out, so you and launch your very. But you're doing great. I did have a couple other questions. Oh, yeah. How long do you think it would have taken you to learn everything you've learned so far on your own? If you didn't have help?
I probably would have quit or given up before I ever got to the point, because I didn't know that this entailed everything that it did.
Okay.
I never.
On Zoom yesterday. Then we set up your YouTube channel. We got your all your Facebook stuff done. What else did we do yesterday? We did something after Dr. Katie. We did more. We did
the Facebook group and page.
Maybe it was the YouTube channel.
Yes.
And then we got ready to. Oh, then I brought you back. And then you came, I picked you up for the beach workout.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was very important that Toby got to see exactly how I set up my events, because they run very smoothly, and you got to meet the tribe, so more belief and absolutely gorgeous weather. And then you do get to go out at night with Kyle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then today, oh my gosh, we have just been nonstop. Like we learned everything you're ever going to need to know for your virtual training business today.
Yes.
We learned everything about setting
a program that literally does everything for you and how to do it. So that's huge. And your website is almost 100% done at this point, right? Yes.
Website's almost done. And we tested it, so it's fully functional. You can actually start taking payments today, because I just bought a product. So that works. Tonight, we did a little healthy happy hour up in the studio. You got to meet more of the tribe. Now we're on live with Mark, and then we're gonna go home. I'm gonna bring you back tonight, because you get to go home tonight. But I'm gonna pick you up very early, 8 a.m., and then we're gonna go do another beach workout tomorrow and finish everything else. Tomorrow we're gonna do we're gonna goal set for your entire year, get your entire year planned out, so you and launch your very first event. So we're gonna do that tomorrow. But you're doing great. I did have a couple other questions. Oh yeah, how long do you think it would have taken you to learn everything you've learned so far in 2 days on your own, if you didn't have help?
Yeah, I probably would have quit or given up before I ever got to the point, because I didn't know that this entailed everything that it did.
Okay.
I never would have been able to figure out I needed to do this or I needed to do that. I would have probably tried to start something really small, and it probably just would have stayed small, because I wouldn't have known how to evolve it any bigger than that.
Well, then that's a great answer.
I probably wouldn't even had a website. I probably would have stuck to Facebook, and I probably wouldn't have like optimized it as much as you did. It probably would have been like generic, like impersonal, just a group, and invite a bunch of people and show up to my space and hope that these people show up, I guess. I don't know.
All right, well, that's great. So it's definitely worth the investment, right? What would you say to trainers who are like, nope, I'm going to figure it all out on my own, and I don't think that I need to invest in a coach or anything like that?
Unless you have done it before, or you know somebody who has done it successfully, you're not going to be successful on your own. You do not have it all figured out.
Wow, that is straight to the point.
Yeah.
No sugarcoating that
No.
one.
Yeah.
Okay. She's like, I've been working for 10 hours. I'm not sugarcoating anything. All right. So I have one more question, and then we'll bring Mark on. I love how we can wrap this thing up in 30 minutes. Like,
Let's do it.
Somehow
We're power talkers,
I
right?
know. It's great. Ultimate goal for your fitness business. What do you envision? It doesn't have to be a monetary goal, but like, what is your goal? Like, where do you see your business going?
Well, I hope in a year from now that I'm no longer at my current job.
Okay.
I'm fully invested in this, and I want to travel, and I want to do group fitness in different places, whether I travel for my own relaxation and get to train while I'm traveling, or I'm traveling to train people where I'm traveling.
I love that. That's the ultimate goal, because nobody wants a 9-to-5 job.
No,
nobody wants that. So awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. This has been an incredible experience for me. I absolutely love having you here. You've made my life so much better this week. So Mark, isn't this great? Any questions for Tobi?
So what was your initial thought about becoming a trainer compared to what it is now that you have your systems in place, your business is pretty much up and running and going? So not just in the business aspect, but in regards to being a trainer, what does your confidence feel like in now going out and actually helping people? What is your thought level of, okay, I got my exams done, I got my certifications, like where's your head now in regards to the actual personal training aspect?
Well, I feel like before it was a dream where I could only hope to do something like that one day, and now I am doing that. And like, I looked at all these people who do that, and I always thought like, wow, wouldn't it be cool to do something like that? And I never thought that was possible for somebody like me, just like an everyday normal person. And it is. And I didn't know that. And for her, I would not be here. And I probably would just work my 9-to-5 job for, I don't know, maybe the rest of my life. I don't know.
Awesome. And then
I'll be happy.
And so for you, what has been the hardest thing for you to overcome that Jessica has been there for, that you know for a fact you would have never been able to do on your own? Besides getting on a plane.
Like the hardest thing that we've done as far as working on my business?
Yep. Whatever, any system you've set up, whether it's a website, whether it's taking payments, whether it's talking about marketing, like what would have been the roadblock is there any one roadblock you would have said, I can't, I'm done, I'm defeated?
I probably wouldn't have been able to set up the virtual training. I don't think I would have been able to figure out how to navigate how to do that without her.
Great. And then my last question is, what are your key takeaways for people who are listening and or will watch this at a later time?
If you want to do it, you have to do it. And if you are reserved and you're thinking about it and you're always going to have that in the back of your mind, you're probably not going to fully let go and invest in yourself. I think you just need to take the leap of faith. Like, put your feet on the ground and start running.
Yep. Awesome. And you believed in yourself.
I did.
Yeah. You were your biggest advocate, and look what happened.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, as mentioned, Jessica, she has the answer. She has the system. She's made all the mistakes, so we don't have to make those mistakes. And that's why you've heard from Tobi, her story, and I think it's not just inspirational and motivational, but a necessary story for us to hear, not just for those who are starting out or just about to get certified, but for us who have been doing it for a while. It reminds us on it's not easy, and there's more challenges now than ever before. I can't imagine starting as a trainer now compared to before. So I would be so intimidated, scared, and overwhelmed. So you have overcome so much. So, Jessica, any last takeaways?
Okay. So, one of the most amazing parts of the immersion retreat, and just so everybody knows out there, I do have other options. If you can't get on a plane and come down and work with me personally, I can work with you virtually. Okay. So you don't have to come down here, even though this is the best way to do it. But having her here and Kyle, like, I've made such great friends now. Like, this is going to be a lifelong friendship. That, like, you can't put a price tag on that. One other thing is, when starting out, you're always looking for that perfect name for your business and that perfect logo. And because part of my program includes collaborating with other trainers that are not afraid to share their secrets, because we're all in this group together, this, I like to call it mastermind group together. We, as trainers, before Tobi came down, we were able to all together brainstorm and come up with the most kick-ass name and logo that I've ever seen. Your logo is my absolute favorite out of everybody's so far. And because it has a meaning to you, it actually has an attached meaning. And that's like the springboard to the whole business, because you're going to use that for all of your branding. So it was like, wasn't that incredible? Like, do you think you would have come up with that yourself, like, instantly? We did it in an hour.
Yeah, I don't think I would have done, no, because you know what I originally wanted to do. And you were like, I like it. Let's work with it. Let's make it better.
Yeah.
And you were throwing out ideas, and like, that just like popped into my head, and I'm like, this is perfect. And you were like, yeah, because it's you, let's go.
Yeah.
And that actually made me the happiest. Like, I had the idea, I got the logo, it was exactly what I envisioned. And now I have it, and it's mine, and it's me, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It's like the best ever. It's gonna be all over all of your shirts, everything. So tomorrow, Mark, we're gonna be finishing up. Tobi will have her systems in place by tomorrow, and all of her website. Everything's gonna be done tomorrow. We're gonna celebrate. I'm taking her out to a nice restaurant on Clearwater Beach tomorrow night to celebrate, and then I'm bringing her back to the airport Sunday morning. And then it's ongoing. It's not like I leave you and say, okay, see ya.
Right.
That was it.
Drop me off and block me. No more.
No, exactly. Yeah, you're blocked on Facebook now. No, this is ongoing coaching. She's able to message me anytime. We're able to Zoom anytime and get on group coaching calls. So it's like I'm with her for the life of her business until she someday says, you know what, I don't really need you anymore, but I'll still come to Florida and visit you. Right? And you are coming back, right?
Yeah, yeah. We have to stay in that place.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's it. Thank you so much, Mark, for allowing us to share this evening. This was fun.
Well, it's wonderful to have you on, Tobi. Thank you so much for sharing, and we wish you the best of success, and you are definitely in the right hands to take your fitness business to that next level.